Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow. Oh, cool. It just does that now. Look at that. Look what updates get you. Are we good? Oh. There we go. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Blue, red. Maybe these two? Something weird like that. I can't imagine the black is great. Maybe the option is fine. Hello. Hello, hello. I don't think I want Eternal Wanderer. I don't think I want Mox either. If damage would be dealt to a Planeswalker of the chosen type. Wait, as long as you control a creature, if damage is dealt to a Planeswalker, you control the chosen type. So it's forced to hang out at 1 until they deal with my creature. I don't have a lot of creatures though, but maybe it's possible. Doesn't Oath just make 2 1/1s? No, I don't care about this at all. Oh. Yeah, I don't care about that at all. Do we have worship? No, we just have the Planeswalker worship. I need more creatures for those 2 cards, which is honestly not very likely. Although, maybe Smothering Tithe and Overwhelming Splendor. This could make this could just make it so I have indestructible creatures. I can do the unlife combo. I can. I wouldn't do that, but I can. Been there. Probably the fetch lands. We are mono white. Nothing is free. Oh, wait, not. What's the other one? That one. Mana Tithe could work too. Soulstone Sanctuary. No. Mutavolt's okay. Maybe. It's still just like not realistic to me. I suppose with the sporadic chance that it does something, maybe. I've tried this a lot and it doesn't work, but I suppose now that this game is even farther along, where you can't get away with it even more, maybe you can book somebody. So egregiously unlikely. I think we have to play Snow Plains, as much as I just really don't want to do that. I think it's fine. There are reasons here. Currently there are 2 reasons. is egregiously unreliable. Is there a thing that drafts Book of Exalted Deeds? Does anything draft that? Is there any way to actually get this card in my hand? I don't think there is. Brought back Lotus Field. I mean, I'd probably just better off playing Mana Rocks, but I guess I could do that. I don't really like it. It's all right. There's only what, 4 fetch lands? One. I don't even know if I want Cavernous Souls. Yeah, there's only 4 fetch lands. Like, brought back isn't doing anything with 4 fetch lands. Lotus Field is interesting. Maybe. Again, I think I'm just better off playing Mana Rocks so I can just consistently do it instead of randomly have the chance to get like an extra mana, but only when I have like Exodia. I also don't really need to play a bunch of mana every turn. I wasn't planning on playing Mana Rocks. Might be forced. Gideon isn't necessarily just like winning on turn 3 or anything. It's like I don't have to play it on turn 3 per se. Oh yeah, Minotithe. I like Minotithe. I kind of like Reprieve, sort of. The silence things don't... Like, if I'm in the middle of a combo, for like stopping a combo, but I don't really silence and gain much with the tempo. Like, if I silence my opponent on turn 4, the tempo of it coming back to me doesn't really do much. They can just do whatever they were going to do the turn after, and I'm not really capitalizing on their like inability to do anything on turn 4 or turn 5 or turn 3. So I don't know if I like those. If I was a combo deck, I like them, so I can just like safely combo off. If I wanted to like slip something through counter spells, you can just bait the counter, but again, I'm not really looking to do that. I'm just not capitalizing on the tempo of silencing my opponent. Though making a missile land with chant is funny. I don't hate chant per se. I do like the sword package because Gideon can be a creature. Even though you have to re-equip every time, it's probably okay. When they're good, it's just fine to re-equip every time. When they're not good, it's not great. I'm willing to try them, though. Oswald can get the book? If that's the case, I can then I run Mana Rocks, right? That is a reason to do it. That's a reason to do it, right? Sacrifice an artifact. If I can sack my Mana Rocks for the book, that makes me feel way better about playing the book. Oh boy. Can't really be buried treasure now, can it? Yeah, it doesn't stay on your planeswalkers. Humiliate? I keep looking at it. I'm not totally sold on it. Partitions, humiliate, or whatever. I don't know if I like those. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it isn't. Maybe it's good enough. I'm not feeling it though. I kind of want the One Ring. I don't have a way to stop the One Ring, do I? If I get stuck under the One Ring, I'm going to be kind of sad. And I kind of envision that being an issue consistently. Gideon would technically keep me not dead, but still. Celestius One Ring, so Oswald can find it sometimes. Going 3 and 4. Palantir's another solid one. I could run just like some Emrakul looking thing as like this one-off. Yeah. Owslet Pride is interesting. Yeah, Oswald can also sack the ring as well. Surprise Ujin. Could play the 6-mana Ujin. I don't think I'd play the 7-mana one. I mean, a 7-mana Vindicate has text. We do have some colorless cards, but after it does that, it doesn't really do anything else in this deck. Drawing 2 cards a turn is pretty satisfying, but yeah, just play the 6-mana one, I think, is just on average going to be better. Could probably just do better than that anyways, like maybe Wandering Spagoodle. Yeah, it's only permanents. No, I don't like Kymil. Kymil's it's a card engine. It's a card engine. I like it for the sake of everything other than the can't be countered clause. And I still kind of don't like it. Every time I put it in my deck, I end up taking it out. So I'm going to trust my past self that the 15th time, having tried it, it's not good. I'm not running it. There's also just better ways to draw cards, I think. I would almost actually craft Stoneforge Mystic here. Almost. No, I don't like any of the other Gideons, no. The other 3-mana one's interesting, but I'm not really using anything on its text box, and I can't choose when it's a creature. And the 1-mana Gideon's just awful. Is there another one? What about you? This one's kind of funny. This one's alright. But still, I'm not really using any of its abilities. Like making a 2/2 a turn? Like, not. What about this one? I didn't read this one. Yeah, again, Gideon really likes you having other creatures, and that's not what we're doing. So, most of them are just like sitting there staring at me. Oslet Pride can technically solo people. I could just play this, and sometimes you win because you played it. Which to me is stupid, but I mean, it's capable of doing that. Monastery Ment. Oh, wait, no. Loom? I think it's a rare. Might not be a rare. Is it a mythic? It's got a weird... Oh. Wait, I thought you... Didn't it have like a strange symbol on the A? Thought it did. You could probably play this. I have a bunch of sweepers, but if you have this going, you obviously don't cast them. Why would you? You have this card. Next is a what? This thing? Well, I don't have enough creatures or artifacts, so I don't really care about that. Season can hit 2 permanents? It's okay. I don't really use the bottom part of it, but sometimes I can. I think Season's versatile enough. It just does things against all sorts of permanents. I don't think we could play Approach without more card draw. I don't know. With Key to the Archive, maybe I can play Approach Second Son. If it wins a single game, it was worth it. Most of the times it's not going to. I can't make it uncounterable, and I can't fight against a counter deck, so it just like doesn't work against counter spell decks. Probably just unrealistic. I've had my Approach satisfactory results in the past anyways. Sweeper protections? What am I protecting? Why do I need Teferi's protection? The giant sweeper's kind of cool. The heck is Luxor? This just makes me lose. Why would I do this? Assuming this is what you're talking about. I don't... This makes me actively lose. Like, my opponent wants me to cast this. Why would I ever do that? It doesn't... Am I not understanding what this is as a creature? No, it would just... Like, I would do that, and then my opponent just kills it. And then I feel kind of sad. Yeah, no, this doesn't work at all. Teleportation circle? What am I flickering? I have some things that are cool to flicker, I guess. Not really bouncing anything, though. Yeah, there's Solitude. That would be one card in the deck. That costs 5. It doesn't flicker it if I evoke it. I also have a bunch of sweepers, so Solitude flickering isn't really that crucial. I'd hardly consider that an ideal one. Skyclave Apparition is interesting. Oop. Cloud is probably unnecessary. I'm always just getting the relevant sword. I probably don't need the other two. No, I don't have anything to flicker in this deck. Oh, shoot, Chain of the Rocks. Whoops. I put that in there as a meme. Forgot it was in there. Alright, this is terrible, but if I have, like, anything that cares about indestructible creatures, it's also still just terrible. Can I... What else is indestructible? Are there, like, hard indestructible creatures? Because that really... Not consistent. Oh, what about Mondrak? Sacrifice 2 artifacts or creatures, and then this is indestructible. That could be really annoying with deification. I mean, it costs 4, but that's not a big deal. It does have a cost. I can't just do it every time I have Mondrak. But if I do get it going... What about you? No, this isn't a creature all the time. Actually, most of the time it probably won't be. Avacyn isn't realistic, but I suppose it counts. Avacyn also doesn't save Gideon. There's the discard one. There's 2 discard ones. These, right? So, like, as long as I have a creature or a card to discard, I can consistently make this not die. But if I'm stuck with, like, 1 card in my hand, it's like it doesn't work out too well, does it? I play this instead of Vanguard. This costs 4 life, which means I can't just like keep doing it, obviously. But if I had this in play, I'm discarding a card to it every time, and then Sarah's Emblem and Deification can keep me safe. But I would have to keep discarding a card, and if I'm only in top deck mode, I'm not doing anything. I'm just drawing a card and getting rid of it to stay alive. And then my opponent will inevitably find anything in the game that stops that from continuing. So I don't think that's reliable. It kind of has to just be indestructible on its own, I feel. I don't really care about the ability for this to attack. It also makes tokens. I mean, that's indestructible. Has a word on it. I actually almost like it more than Mondrak. I'm not really using Mondrak's text box. I can sort of use Oketra's text box. I don't know if this is a devotion deck. Probably free, though, to just put it in anyways. Yeah, the sword doesn't make Gideon indestructible. Only Gideon makes Gideon indestructible. I don't like land tax. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't really like it. I like it a lot more than in EDH than I do here. Not a fan of land tax, really, in 1v1. Some strategies really like it, right? If you're a green deck, you like it and stuff. It makes it so I'll never miss lands. It pulls lands out of my deck. I really don't hate it, but I'm not super big on it. What does Search for Glory do? Snow, Legendary, Saga. Alright. Does enough for me. I'm gonna try 39 lands. We have mana rocks. We do have mana rocks now. I wasn't planning on them, but found a reason to run them. I'm gonna try 39 lands. Curve is kind of low. I'm not racing to anything that costs a bunch of mana. I still think Summon Knights around is awful, but I've never played with it before, so we're gonna try to resolve it once, and then lose. But you know what? I don't know. Someone will say it's fine. I think it should probably just be key to the archive, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, we're gonna start here. We're here with Gideon of the Trials. It's a 3-mana, 3 loyalty planeswalker. You can plus it to prevent all damage a permanent would deal. So it's any damage it would deal to anything, not just your face, creatures and planeswalkers and all that jazz. And the damage it would deal, say, like VV, throwing damage at your face, because it's not combat damage. So that is interesting. This doesn't save you against VV at all, but it can't poke you anymore. It has a 0 to become the 4/4 indestructible, and no damage can be dealt to it. The reason it kind of has both of those lines of text is so it keeps its loyalty. Otherwise, if it was just indestructible, it would lose loyalty when it took damage anyways. So it has, like, it doubles down, essentially. And then it gets an emblem where you just can't lose the game as long as you have a Gideon. It doesn't have to be this Gideon, but most Gideons, kind of this one as well, to a lesser extent, really want you to play creatures and swing at your opponent and stuff, and just do damage, where I'm not trying to do that. So most of the other Gideons kind of don't fit the bill. There is the 4-mana one that like poops out 2/2s, but I think there's just better things to do, and if this is gone, like you have this Gideon repeatedly anyways. If you have two Gideons in play, that's not really going to save you. If your opponent was to answer the first one, it's kind of easy to then answer the next one anyways, so I don't really like more Gideons as a whole, even if they were similar to this one. I'm just not super big on it. A bunch of removal, a bunch of board wipes. There is Sarah with the worship emblem, where you have any creature, you just can't lose more than... You can't get reduced to 1. To 0, I mean. So you're stuck at 1 life. Kind of interesting. You need a creature to do that, so a little weird. I have Oketra, right? That would settle down? Yeah, Oketra is an indestructible creature. Mondrak is also indestructible, but I can't consistently make Mondrak indestructible. If I could, maybe you can run both. There's Book in here. The only reason I feel like Book might actually make it is because with Oswald sacking Mana Rocks, I can find it. And then with like Mutavault, you can put the token, or the counter on the Mutavault, and if your opponent doesn't interact with Mutavault for the entire game, you just can't lose. This is extremely unreliable. Your opponents do run Field of Ruin and stuff that blow up Mutavault. I just see those lands. I don't really like Field of Ruin, and Demolition Field, I think, is the other one. I'm not a fan of those in this format, but that doesn't stop people from playing them, especially with Tifa all over the place that just doesn't care what the land is or how bad the land is. As long as it just doubles your landfall, they don't care. They'll just run it. So there's splash damage. This is just extremely unreliable, but it's funny. I don't expect it to win a single game of all the goofy combos, just because there are genuinely a lot of just random cards, even Beseiju, that just stop your Cavernous Souls or your Faceless Haven, or I think there's another one now. This one, that is an angel that just gets blown up. This one is quite steep. Really, the only one I like is Mutavault, because you can kind of do it reasonably fast, mana-wise. Otherwise, you have to spend an insane amount of mana for something that won't work anyways. But it's in here because it's funny. That is to say, so like Solemnity... Solemnity, can't put counters on stuff, and then Phyrexian Unlife? Yeah, so you can't get poison counters. These two combo until your opponent deals with them. This is not just best of one historic. There is, like, every single deck is going to have something that interacts with this, right? I've tried to make it work. I couldn't tell you how many times I've tried to make this work in Historic Brawl, and it never really pans out. Like, even River's Rebuke just makes it not work, and I don't have a solid answer to River's Rebuke except Mana Tithe. So, like, you're not going to ever keep those in play and let them just sit there and dodge 99 cards that your opponent has, or like 60-ish cards your opponent's playing, that it only takes like one of those to interact. Because I don't have counter spells. If I had counter spells, I like it, but I kind of like it. But I don't have ways to truly stop that from being a thing. You can run, like, Teferi's Protection, but it's just not reliable. It's not reliable. So that's that for that. I'm running the swords with, like, Cloud and that other one. I don't own Stoneforge Mystic. So if I did, I probably would give that one a whirl in here, just to have another way to find equipment. The reason I'm running the equipment is just because it's worth it to me to keep paying 2 to re-equip every turn on Gideon. Because if you have protection, the idea is to give yourself protection from your opponent's colors with the first sword you find, ideally. And then you just continuously swing with it as a way to kill your opponent. To me, it's worth it to just keep reinvesting mana. Maybe it isn't, but I think it kind of is. This card, to me, is awful, but it does create indestructible creatures for the Sarah worship, which could matter. But this card is really... I mean, I don't think I like it any more or less maybe than Zatalpa. Zatalpa I just like because I enjoy that card, but I don't know. I'm going to I'm going to keep this in here until I cast it. I've never cast it. I don't like it here. I don't like it anywhere. But let's see what happens with it if we just give it a whirl. So, alright, there we go. Those are the words I have. Hopefully it was coherent. If not, get wrecked. Oh, what's our quest? Black or red? Rip. No quest today. Nesting grounds? The book counter doesn't matter. Book counter doesn't matter. The book counter is a reminder token. It is not the reason why you have the text on it. It's just a reminder counter. You can maybe trick your opponent in thinking it works, but it doesn't work. Alright, this is a really not great start. But am I on the play at least? Oh my. I don't know. I mean, yeah, this is not what we were setting out to play against. Not what we were setting out to play against at all. I'm in no position, nor am I interested in playing around anything. I'm just going to play my cards. I don't need Gideon to survive. Looks like it just resolved, though. Yeah, Gideon's in Hell Queue. That would be crazy. That would be crazy, yeah. See, and then you wonder why I don't play goofy cards with goofy commanders, because this is what happens to you when you try to have fun. What does this get? It's probably just an extra turn, right? My opponent can just scoff at everything I'm doing, so it probably just takes an extra turn, and then they just play Narset, because I'm mono white. I can't interact with it, to the extent of my opponent's knowledge, at least. I can swing for 4, though. Oh, they got a card I would not have gotten. That's, Huh. Okay. Alright, sending in the 4. I will play Smothering Tithe. Feel like it might actually matter. My opponent... Did they miss a land drop? I think my opponent missed a land drop. I didn't register that. Did they miss a land drop? What? Okay, let's, just hide behind an emblem, maybe? And then play this. Okay. I'm just gonna not play my land, so land tax doesn't do anything. But they did miss a land drop. Planar cleansing? Oh, that's nuts. Alright, so let's kill Narset so we don't lose the game. I would kind of embrace planar cleansing. Okay. This is kind of where nothing we do matters. Start to fall into that department here. Protection from blue? Hardly feels like it's relevant, but... The One Ring is indestructible, I guess I'll cast it. I'm gonna swing at Narset and pretend like it matters. Oh, yep, just have the perfect extra turn right when you untap with Narset. Sounds about right. Cool. I enjoyed myself. I had a good time until I didn't. The moment they untapped with Narset, I immediately lost. Alright. It's going to be like that with Vivi as well and stuff. If I don't interact with the commanders in this format, we just, like, lose instantly. So... They could have skipped their land drop, but I highly doubt that. I don't think that's what happened there. That would be a bit strange. I did miss my land drop, but fortunately it didn't punish me or anything. I probably should have just played it anyways, because land tax isn't the issue. Especially if they take an extra turn and then they just have more lands anyways. Probably shouldn't have skipped my land. But, I mean, I didn't draw a land anyways. It didn't matter. Didn't matter. I don't think I can keep this. If I had one more mana, maybe. I'm on the draw, maybe I can keep it. As long as they don't just mill me out in one fell swoop, it's possible that Cleansing Nova matters. They can pretend like it matters, at least. This finds a land, right? It does. Discard. Turn permanent, value 2 or less. Okay. I suppose deification it is. Named Gideon, right? Why is it Elspeth and Sarah? The heck? Well, I'm sniffing out some kind of, like... maybe not. If I do... Wait, what does this do? I'm gonna cast this here. Okay, I guess I'm not going to cast that there. Let's see, did anything we do matter this game? Okay. I didn't instantly lose the game. There's no way I just let my opponent untap with all that. So I have to just do this. Okay. I'm sure glad we're playing his Sword Brawl. So... I mean... Alright. I don't know. And then just play Punishment on Oswald, so my opponent doesn't just spin into god tier nonsense. Which I'm not even sure what could be, but who knows. If I do this and then I cast Gideon, maybe something can happen. Ooh, excuse me. I do not feel like I'm playing the same format as my opponent, though. I've not felt like that since the start of this game. Gonna just loot for the sake of looting. Go away. Does that change anything? Not quite. So play this plus on the cheaper power. Is there a man land? Okay, I guess I just won't respect... I just won't respect a haste threat or something. I don't think it's reliable to hide behind this emblem, but I've seen crazier things, I suppose. What happens if my opponent decks out with Garuda? What happens then? I might have actually just had to zero here, right? Okay. Sarah. Loyalty. Let's do this for 1, 2, 7. If I win this game, I'm gonna like... I'm gonna take up a new profession of, I don't know. 4 damage to me is completely irrelevant. I'm not even going to risk making it a 4/4. Alright, they stopped the Sarah emblem. Sure. Alright, now I kind of wish I swung last turn. Finale is not really what I'm looking for. I can recast it, so yeah, I'll just make it a creature. I can recast it. I'll hold the land... Actually, we could just do this now. Yeah, we could just do this right now. Still hold the land. Doesn't save him. Okay. Was that hardcast? It was. Oh my goodness. I meant to click the card emote. I didn't mean to click the snooze emote. Oh my goodness. We were not playing the same format this entire game. I can't believe that. I feel like I'm always losing this. They just didn't hit the clones. Did they just get... They either got egregiously unlucky, like insanely unlucky, or they're just not like the combo thing. And to be fair, you don't have to be the combo thing. At no point in this game did I feel like I was ahead. That's insane. I mean, they did the thing like 3 times. That's crazy. Yeah, the accidental BM. I meant to click the this thing. I meant to click that. That's nuts. That will never happen again. Alright. We'll take it. That is never going to happen again. Calling it now. The only way that happens again is if we play like... No, still, that doesn't... It's not reliable. Yeah, no, there's no way that's happening again. That's insane. Well, I just gave away Solitude instantly. Let's name emote, I suppose. I would not have anything to do on turn 2 here. It's kind of unbelievable they did nothing on 2 turns. Turn 1 and 2. It's normally the very not good idea. But it is a blue-green ignores you deck, and I don't really capitalize on them ignoring me. So it might not matter. I'm just gonna do the emblem to start, because I feel like that just makes the most sense. Vortex combo? Oh, alright. Yeah, then it makes sense then. Yep, you're right. Can I interact with it? I've only played the combo, or seen the combo one just a few times. I haven't seen that many times. Whenever this dies, make it 4/4. Okay, that doesn't make me think they're a combo deck, but could mean a whole bunch of different things. Do I kill this? I think I'll just wait. I feel like killing their first creature is irrelevant, because like it can't deal damage to Gideon anyways. I don't know. Okay, that gets lands. Now we have Solitude as well. Although this might just be a sweeper-worthy board state. They get a 4/4, but that getting blitzed is really annoying, isn't it? Yeah, it is annoying. Mana Tithe. Do we think we win because of that? Uh, 5, 6, ugh. Okay. So... I'm 1 mana away from being useful. I'm just gonna pass. Okay. They did not cast emote. They could have cast emote, right? 5. You know, they could have done that. I don't necessarily lose the game if this doesn't work. But emote doesn't run counter spells. It wouldn't really make a lot of sense. So, this exiling the Hauntwoods? This doesn't look like a combo deck. They didn't play Emoti last turn when they could have played Emoti, so I'm not sure what that's about. I'm going to leave this in play because there's a solid chance this happens again, but I could be wrong. Alright, looks like it is a combo deck. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, discover. There is nothing I can do about it. I can Cleansing Nova that card. I don't really know where that gets me, but it's something I can maybe just contemplate. Whenever you cast a creature spell, power 4 or discover. Sure. This is an indestructible card. Do I blow this up with, like, Cleansing Nova? Is that what we do here? I feel like that might be what we're supposed to do. Do I blow that up? I also probably shouldn't swing. Although they'll just trade anyways. Solitude can take... Yeah, no, we'll swing. It's fine. Gideon can take, like, a bunch of damage. It's fine. Alright, I'm gonna... No, I'm not gonna cast this because I'll lose my stuff. I lose all my... You think they scoop if I... Whenever you cast a creature spell, discover, discover, discover. Alright. I'll blow it up next turn. I feel like I'm not winning because I blew this up at all. They can still just literally continuously cast everything in the game. Gideon's taking more damage than it should, though. Yep. I really don't know why blowing this up matters. I don't understand. Like, if I blow it up, they just cast these cards every turn anyways, and I lose. Right? They don't get them all at once, but I still lose the game. I just lose slower. I don't really understand why stopping this would help me. I mean, technically, if they don't have any haste threats, I can just sweep the board and maybe they can't play the game anymore? That actually feels like a better line. They have Sirac. I wish I could, like, see. What is going on? None of this has haste. What does Sirac do? Alright, we can see the rest of their deck, which is all effectively beatable, I guess. I mean, this deck doesn't run counter spells. Doesn't it just get swept out? Is there indestructible? Ronus is indestructible. Not that one. Opponent just lost Shark Typhoon. Oh, they have haste. Come on. That's lame. Wait. Why didn't they kill me? Okay, wait. That wasn't enough haste. Never mind. It wasn't enough haste. Okay. Yep. They blow up the thing. I would have just got a land, but okay. So I just sweep the board and we'll see what happens when I sweep the board, I guess. As it stands, I don't see his name God. Okay, now what? So they're face down lands, but they can't be flipped. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Ace Golem. Alright, opponent had a line there. I mean, I don't know if blowing this enchantment up was going to do anything, except slow them down, but I'm still losing to all these creatures. But alright. You got it. I'm not going to run Disenchant. I think I have Fragmentize in here, though. Yeah, if I blew that up, I lose those cards. Oh hey, it's a commander I don't see every day. Look at that. Wow. Crazy. They do exist. This hand is really weird. I don't like it. This hand is weird, but slightly less weird. Whenever this enters, pay 3, proliferate. Sure. I'm gonna Minotithe that, because otherwise I don't Minotithe much. Yeah, we're gonna go into this next turn. It is sort of a must-answer threat. Well, ideally. I don't think I'm gonna try to leave up mana when I cast it, though. I could genuinely do that. Yeah, maybe we should. It also lets me just crack this for something. Let's just do the save 0. I'm not gonna do anything about that. Okay. So, you decline, lay down the arms of this thing, have a seriously threatening board presence. Alright. Well, I untapped with my commander, so... I mean, excuse me, untapped with this thing. Might as well be my commander at this point. But... I'm not sure there's anything my opponent has access to that stops this at this point. Unless it's a River's Rebuke, but that doesn't inherently win the game. Are they dead next turn? Think so. Wow, Jace. Has to bounce my commander? I called it my commander, no? Whoops. Okay, so... we cast... you... we make you a creature... decline... oh wait, I should have said yes to that, whoops. Should have said yes to that, that's not bad. Alright, this is not lethal. But... if I made Mutavault a creature, was it lethal? No. If I crewed or equip, was it lethal? No. Alright. There was no, like, hard lethal there. Okay. We go to 4 poison? Haven't seen this commander played in, ever, actually. What did they just cast? I didn't even look. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or flyer. Okay, that's a card you don't see every day. If it wasn't for the poison card, there's not a lot of these in blue and green, like at all. I'm not even sure if there's 5. I'm not... Actually, how many cards can put poison on me that are blue and green? There's a couple colorless... Well, there's the mirror. Yeah, I don't know how many cards actually put a poison counter on me. Not a lot. But, yeah. If it wasn't for that, there was really nothing going on there. It's kind of their one line, and it's not going to be fast enough when I have that creature swinging viscerally at them every turn. I'm actually curious, how many poison counter cards are there? Oop, I didn't mean to click that. You have Rot Priest. This doesn't put a poison counter. No, it doesn't. Does this? No. So you have 1, 2. Technically works without other creatures, right? Can't even read the text, bro. Whenever a creature you control... Yeah, so that is... technically 3? 4? They can't play those ones. They're blue and green. 5. Okay, so there's 5 of them. This one isn't reliable, so I'd almost kind of say there's 4. The creatures with toxic, Gideon just stops, because I can just target them and they can't deal damage. So... Yeah, actually, no, this one too. I can target it with Gideon. I can target this with Gideon. If I have no creatures, this doesn't do anything. I feel like this is the only card in the entire deck that let them do that. In the entire game that let them do that. That's weird. Oh, there's like 15 people in my neighborhood with Harley Davidsons, man, I swear. Ay, ay, ay. Everyone wants to be the loudest thing in the neighborhood. My window will be closed and I just still hear it clear as a day. Well, this has done nothing every time it's been in my hand. This is another hand where that would be the case. Palantir's alright. I wish this book was anything else. I mean, technically we have this, but it costs 7. So, don't really have it. Alright. Annabelle's the thing dealing the damage, right? Yep. So Gideon can sort of remedy Annabelle's damage, but it can't stay alive on its own. So I don't know really how much that matters. This is just a 2-1. I take it you play this turn too? Wow, really? You don't? Okay. Well, yeah, if you have that, I guess it doesn't make sense too. Just applies too much pressure on Gideon to just safely resolve. I think I should still play Gideon. Palantir is not doing... Yeah, we're gonna... No, we're playing Palantir. That way I can just find something eventually, or it helps me find stuff that could actually matter. I don't think plussing on a 2-1 is doing anything. My opponent will mill all the way down to like 1 life. There's no reason not to. This is card draw. I actually kind of like this. This is a land as well. Both of these are alright. I think we'll take the Maze Mind's Tome. I actually kind of like Maze Mind's Tome here. We have enough time for it, which is the main thing. If I didn't, I mean, to the bottom it goes, but I think I can. I mean, I know what they're going to name on this, so stack it like that. There's no way they don't do that. This is a 3/3 blocker, but I mean, it's not reliable or anything. You can't play around sweepers as much as my opponent wants to pretend like they can. Search isn't really useful. Just have my opponent get rid of it. Alright, they respect its stone cold nothing. It's kind of funny. Meditative. Alright, just in time. Play this, lose game? Not necessarily. Gideon does die. But what else am I doing? I guess I'm doing nothing and just banking on my opponent doing something egregiously wrong. Another decent card, actually, but I mean, it's too slow. I'll just have my opponent mill it. It is 5 damage. It could matter. Now they can play around the Wandering Emperor if they want to. There's a bunch of reasons why I suppose it would make sense not to do that. You have reprieve? Come on. Really? That's really bad. Come on. I mean, if you have it, just cast it. Okay, I guess they don't have it. They do just win if they have it, right? Yeah, they do just straight up win if they have it, so... I guess they didn't have it. Alright. Lucky us. Maybe it was Manatide? Could have been Manatide. Wow, I actually got a counter off. I actually Meditide their commander. Really? Okay. Do we scry? I think we do, because we always want to tap this, because getting to 4 life probably matters. Heliod's Spaghetti is interesting. That is interesting. No, it's not, because flipping this means it doesn't matter. Okay, never mind. So we play this, we play Book. Are we gonna get there? There's no way we're getting there. I refuse to believe we're getting there. Yeah, we'll plus. That's a really good card. That's not great. Again, another card my opponent just doesn't want me to draw. Alright, they can no longer mill, so we can draw whatever we want with Palantir. I don't expect Banefire to... Could it kill me, Banefire? 5, 6, 7, 8. With a land, we do die to Banefire. That's funny. 4... Let's see, 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6... What am I looking for here? That's interesting. I kind of like Desingly. Okay, I like it a bit less now. Four? I need a land, don't I? Do I need a land? Hold on. Activate this for 4. And then 1, 2, 3. Alright, we'll draw this. We'll plus here. We'll draw here. Wandering Emperor. Certainly more ideal to leave up than not Wandering Emperor. Yep. I would have liked to land there, but this is the line we took, I guess. We gained enough life to make a 3-3 as well. Get Lost is good. That doesn't do anything, though. Okay, Get Lost is excellent. Maybe we don't even have to go for the book. We just actually just full stop stabilize against what my opponent's doing here. Witch Enchanter. Alright, there goes the Palantir. Wait, what? No, you want to kill the Palantir here. The book is not... No, you kill the... Please kill the Palantir. I would kill the Arcane Signet before I kill the book. That's crazy. I don't have another way to gain 3. I mean, there's a combo in... Yeah, alright, they did the right thing. They did the right thing. They found the line. Yeah, they're scared of what the book can do, but if I get to the book, I think I've already won without the book. I could be wrong, but we'll see. I'm just not convinced I should blow up the book. I'm not convinced about that. Alright, so you go to attacks. I wonder if I should have killed this. Yeah, maybe I should have. That was probably a mistake. Well, now I can kill it with this, actually. And still respect what I think is potentially a Minotaur. So, yeah, alright, this is fine. We just take 1. Oh, sure. Alright, that would also make my line not viable. So, take the damage. Opponent has 1 mana left, which still could be a, Let's see, if I tap this... I'm gonna try to save my card here. Yeah, there's a 1 mana card. It could be a Swords to Plowshares or something, and there's no going for a book here. Okay, let's make a 4/4? Can I activate the book? I mean, I can, sure. I don't know what that would do. I need more mana to... Oh, wait, that's not what I want to do. I want to plus here. Do I have the emblem? I do not have the emblem. I have to stop this from dealing damage, though. That is winning the game. Can play... probably this instead of Cold Steel Heart. Because it's like another blocker, sort of. But now we have no mana drain, or mana tithe protection or anything. Okay, well, there was a Swords. They Swordsed the not 4/4. I have no idea why. But that's what they chose to do. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Alright. I should have waited till they went to attacks. I should have waited till they went to attacks. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. That was a huge mistake, actually. That was a colossal, massive mistake. That's what I get for being stupid. So, 4... Still 1 mana off? That is egregiously annoying. If I plus and play a blocker, that is just so annoying. If I zero... Actually, I should just make the emblem. No, because then I die. Then I just die, so... That is just obscenely annoying. What do you mean it's not going to tap? Why do I have to... It doesn't matter if this is untapped or tapped. Why does that matter? Why does that matter at all? Well, that's just... stupid. Whatever. That's so dumb. 4, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap. 1, 2, 3. Isn't this 8? This is already tapped, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Creation. Book. You're right. You're right. Wow. Alright. You're right. I didn't see it. I stared at it for about 4 or 5 turns until I realized it worked. And I didn't go for it. Alright, I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. I didn't see it. You're right. For some reason in my head it was an 8 mana investment. It taps itself, and then you tap 1, 2, and then I have 3. Yeah, no, I messed up. Fair enough. I threw the game. That's really tragic, too. Spent all that time trying to do it, and I didn't see it. I don't know why I thought it was an 8 mana investment. I thought it was an 8 mana investment for a lot of turns, too. This is really, really egregious. No guarantee it wins the game, but obviously a thing that I did not give myself the out to have, which is really bad. Tragic. That was where it would be at its best, too. I'm gonna not care about that. Okay, and now my commander's dead. Yay! Love it. Farewell, naming enchantments and creatures. Okay, so... What is that? Bone Horde? Okay. Do I just kill that? I think I do, right? It's always value. If I don't kill it, it just incurs infinite value, so I guess I have to kill it. I'm not really sure what we're doing in the long run here in this game. I don't know what we're trying to find. It's not looking great here. Red-green equipment, cast and equip. It is possible. Oh wait, what about... Hold on. We have Overwhelming Splendor. It's cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is castable. Okay. I'm definitely gonna make the attempt on that one. Let's plus here. None of this matters. So, do that. Play this. Okay, nothing that Huatli flips into matters when you have Splendor. So I'm not going to make a reaction and cast Farewell. That is to say that I don't think... Like, I would still, rather than maybe not flip it, but as long as Splendor is around, it might not be a problem. But we'll see. I don't even know if I would have done that. I think maybe Gideon's not super crucial to me, but it kind of does damage. I don't know. Maybe it's all the best that card's gonna do. Do I need Smothering Tithe? I don't think I do. My opponent can just pay for it infinitely anyway, so... Okay, well... You saw this coming? The creature has to have a cast trigger. It can't enter and then do anything. They tutor up a dinosaur, which... There's a fair amount of dinosaurs that are a problem. There are some dinosaurs that might have some cast triggers we'd rather not see. But they do have to have said cards, otherwise that's not going to matter. Let's just do this. I don't believe protecting Gideon, or that's not doing anything. Protecting Gideon is doing anything? Yeah, so what dinosaur can you have here that's a problem? Galta doesn't do it. Zakama doesn't do it. Kogla does it. Alright. Look at that. Of course. Why not? Why not? I'm pretty sure that works. I'm fairly certain that works. Doesn't it work, chat? Right? Tell me it works, please. Right? That should work. Oh, activating as an ability. channeling is an ability. Oh my goodness. I thought we were screwed. Little did I know. We were not screwed. Okay, so let's just start swinging for 4 repeatedly. I'm gonna exile the board and start swinging for 4. No, that's really stupid. That's dumb. We're just gonna do this and do this. Get rid of that. We're just gonna sit tight until we find something that matters. Do I even care about Gideon? No, not really. No, I don't even care about Gideon. I think I can recast it again. Okay, well, we have that. Oh, this stays as a land forever. I did not know that. Alright, so it would not have done anything against the Annabelle player. I feel less bad. I feel way less bad. I did not realize that. I'm taking this card out. That's awful. I don't need a land. I did not know that. Yeah, I'm taking that card out. This is, like, actually atrocious. Did not realize that. I'm not going to put the counter on it. I can just keep this around for Mutavolt if that ends up mattering. Okay. Doesn't enter with anything. I'd rather just make 1/1s than do anything else, so... This is the longest someone's ever played against Overwhelming Splendor. I don't know what their outs are, but they're sitting around waiting for them. Yeah, I'll force the trade. I mean, if they ever blow it up, I'd be just happy it wiped out as many creatures as it did, right? No. It's kind of ideal to me. Could have ordered that better, not gonna lie. That's a good card. Alright, get rid of that now. Sure. Yep. They do swing. That's another good one. Do I have anything to reanimate that matters? No, not really. Not really. Let's just make a 4/4. Let's just make a 4/4. Alright. I guess... I don't know what... If you're gonna keep playing against Overwhelming Splendor, it would make sense to play all the way to the end, because there's just something in my... Like, my opponent must be playing 2 something, right? You're never gonna win with just playing 1/1s, so there must be an out that they were playing 2, so I'm not sure why now they concede instead of, like, in 2 or 3 turns when they're officially dead. Like, they have 1 or 2 more looks. I'm still playing it out. If you're gonna go this long, you might as well go all the way. But yeah, it turns off abilities, which, I'm not gonna lie to you, both me and my opponent weren't cognitively aware. I thought we were just dead immediately, because we would have probably died immediately had that worked. But yeah, you can't activate abilities. Okay. Cool. Can't activate abilities. Alright, let's take out that manland. That for one game, back-to-back games with me misunderstanding it fundamentally. which is kind of funny. I thought for some reason it was an 8-minute investment to do the thing, and also this is actually awful. So let's add a plains unless I can find some other kind of land that matters. I'm not playing inversion. I could just play Witch Enchanter. Many would call me a fool for not doing so, I guess. Inventor's Fair is weird. Compass is neat. It flips into a maze of if. I don't hate looking for lands every turn as a mono white deck. I think I'm done with this card. I know I said I was going to play it until I get it in play. Like, I'm just going to keep it in my deck, but as you can see, it's like truly just atrociously bad. Yeah, I actually unironically like Compass. Bankbuster might just be better, though. Probably should run Bankbuster instead. I think that's just better. What the heck is that? Shadowheart? Huh? What is this? It's the mono black variant. Okay. What? That's cool. I like it. Chat, we're playing against cool things. Oh wait, it's black-red. Okay. It doesn't say black-red up here. Shouldn't it say black-red up there? Okay. Slightly less cool, but still pretty cool. Doesn't Gideon just really irritate this card? I feel like it does. I have time to play Smothering Tithe. I will play it, because they can't pay for it. Whoa! What? Alright. I was wrong. I lied to you. I was going to say a land there would be really good. You can get the protection from black weapon here. Probably just should. Assuming I have it in here, I do. Or red. Actually, this is a better... Yeah, we're going to get that. That's just better. And then I'll shut down this for like 25 years? Well, they paid last time, so I assume they're going to do it again. Okay. Kind of already did what I needed it to. Wow. I can target lands with Gideon. Let's name Mirror. It literally doesn't matter. Play this. Opponent's also playing really fast. This Smothering Tithe has just... My opponent has spent more mana on it than I have already. Kind of crazy. I have a sword that is a serious problem right now. You must have like a shock or something right now, or it's kind of lights out. Yeah, I'll swing with both. Why not? How do I kill this? We will kill the Phoenix. We will kill the Phoenix. Alright, so they have to have a black removal spell. Man, that Smothering Tithe was a really good idea. Alright, constitutes as a right answer. So, Gideon plus here, ossification, nothing. I'm not going to swing. Yeah, alright, I'm just doing nothing. I'm going to hold on to this. My opponent has only let me make one treasure token. That is crazy. Okay, well, I will just crack that. Okay, was that a... what was that? Ghostfire Slice? Jeez, alright. Let's play... I can't get that out of the graveyard with this. I can get rid of my opponent's commander now. I probably should. No attack here. Alright, they're down to one card, but the man land exists, and it is a bit of a nuisance. Sin Prodder. Beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. Interesting. I'm going to block with a 2-2 instead of -2 here. Okay, it looks like it sort of equaled out. What if I just blocked with these? Yeah, these are less useful. I'm going to block with the 1/1s. They're just less useful. Okay. Still nothing to reanimate. Play this for 5. Kind of ugly. Let's see what happens when I swing. Wow, really. Opponent is low enough to where I can just make these. Exile that. Yeah, this makes sense to me. My opponent is, like, dying, so... Still paying for the... Yeah, we can reanimate Gideon. I just don't feel like I care too much to go for that. Alright, we win. Yep. That opponent was fast and reactionary. Like, they reacted to the things I did really quickly. Like, they kind of just sniffed out a removal spell and already had their hand over the concede button. They didn't even see it. But yeah, this, it's a bit tough to get this going. And even when it, let's see, it flips into this and then doesn't do too much. It has Summoning Sickness currently, right? Yeah. I think, no, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel as though the Smothering Tithe won me this game. Being able to stop 2 mana from my opponent every turn seems extremely significant, especially when they had a man land that they did have enough mana to activate, or like this thing, I guess. I don't know. I mean, they had the soul land going, but still, like, I don't know how much I'm interested in doing that. So if they didn't pay for Smothering Tithe at all, they would push more damage faster, but we would get to, like, maybe cast the Wandering Emperor a turn earlier. It's hard to quantify that. My opponent very swiftly made their decisions, so I trust their line. I just I don't know. I would like to see that same game, except they never paid 2, and see what happens. GG. I like that deck. Or whatever it was. It was like Annabelle, but not Annabelle. The specialized cards are kind of cool. I like how you can play different colors. Black-red seems interesting. I mean, I haven't seen any color variant of that ever. I've never seen it anyways. Never seen it anyways. Alright, we're playing against the Scythus deck. Cool. I have no in-hand answer to enchantments. Fragmentized counts. There's no white mana now. Everything we do gets exiled. Alright, we'll just bank on Maze Mind's Tome, I guess. I'm not really sure how to win this. Yeah, Deification's pretty neat. It's only worked in one game, but in that game, it sure did. Let's cast you. I mean, my opponent has all of the exile effects in the observable universe, so I'm not sure any of my enchantments or artifacts are doing much. But I can harass them to a degree. I have to name Yuna with Curse. I don't have to, but it would be ideal to do as such. And pass. What does this do? Lets you play more cards than your opponent. Alright. I have a turn to not worry about that. I don't know. I really don't know what Gideon's doing. But it's in play now. Can't say it's not in play. Book with that is an out, I guess. It's a weird line, but it's a line with text. Alright. They just have the answer to my stuff. I'm not sure what the best outcome is, but like I said, infinite O-rings makes a lot of what I'm doing feel pointless. I mean, exiling Gideon here doesn't really... Oh, they take deification. Okay, sure. Sure. So what's the next thing they take? The only thing they can, which is my commander. So I should kill this, so they can't just go straight into doing that. Or rather, just not do it for free, but I don't know. I'm kind of in need of more lands. I'm not really interested in ever fragmentizing this. Your phone died? What'd you miss? Oh boy. Nothing great. I mean, I can, but I have to dodge a litany of nonsense. My opponent's just drowning me in value with this card I didn't answer. Okay, well, it's a little too late for Smothering Tithe to matter, but I guess my opponent has it in play. Alright, we found the land. That was step 1. Step 2 is swinging for 4 for no reason. Play this on white. I feel like the... I don't know. I don't know. I think... I don't... I don't know. I mean, it's a thing that's somewhat maybe possible if my opponent doesn't have one of their 86 O-rings, and I also get to... I really don't know. I really don't know. Alright, well, at least this doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form. I think at this point I can safely just crack this curse. My opponent can cast Una for the rest of the game for basically free. Yeah, all this mana doesn't really amount to anything. Bro, this case is just giving my opponent infinite value. It's ridiculous. That shouldn't stop anything, right? Yeah, that doesn't fundamentally stop what I'm capable of doing. So, snow, snow, snow. I need 6 white mana? Because 3 of it has to be snow? Snow, snow, snow. White, white, white. Okay. Wait a minute. Snow, snow, snow. Oh, I can't activate it. I can't activate it because of the overwhelming splendor. Okay. Which means I lose the game. I can't fragmentize it. Alright, cool. That was fun. There's a lot of answers they have to it anyways, but, well, can't go for it anyways. Look at that. Tried to do something that wasn't blow up the case, and then the case drew 800 cards. Like, perfectly off the top. So we lost. I refuse to play Naturalize. Or Disenchant. You can't make me. Ideally, I just don't play against Scythus all day. That would be a bit more of a enjoyable scenario than playing against Scythus all day. I haven't seen Corvold in a while. Corvold, honestly, just kind of got shoved aside by a lot of the things the past 2 months. Let's do this. Corvold, I do feel like, definitely got a bit of a major shove. I was kind of expecting a Thoughtseize there. We're gonna just play this. I feel like it's a must-answer threat. So, I'm going to cast it. Yep, feel surprised at no one. Threat answered. Oh, they had Thoughtseize. Alright. Great. I think my whole hand is reasonable. But I don't know which one you take. Okay, they take that one. Is that what I would have taken? Maybe. Feels a little odd, though. I'm not sure if that's what I would have taken there. Okay. You got it. I don't really care about that. Black and... I think I'm just taking the green one. I think I'm taking the green one. The black one is, like, truly just awful. Let's do this. Let's play this on Gideon. Oh, hey, look at that. Actually, it's in the list. So, as long as I control a creature, we're sort of okay. Which, obviously not the most reliable thing. Okay. Immediately answered. Oh, they didn't kill it. Alright, they killed the creature. Sure. They didn't kill the... Huh. Swinging with the sword here is weird. Because then Gideon actually just straight up dies after, unless I cast one of these. So let's just make the emblem now. And leave up Solitude. I would also kill Cloud, to be honest with you. I don't think I'm ever blowing... I would blow up the mana rock before I blow up Cloud. Or Deification. Clothis? Whoa. Okay. That's nuts. I'm gonna let my opponent draft. Actually, I don't even have to. Yeah, just block the bug. I'm not gonna let him draft. Okay, they let me go to blocks first. A bit of a mistake, I would argue. Let's plus on... Nothing? Exile Clothis? Because I sort of, like, have to. Can reanimate Cloud, so... Reanimate, exile? Yeah, we have to get rid of this card. It's just a lingering issue. Let's get the... I mean, both of these are okay. Again, I think the black one is awful, so I'm not going to get it. Plus here. It's an indestructible creature. It's indestructible. So they have to blow up Deification now. It's indestructible. We did the thing to a degree. I think it's the first time that's come up. You know. We got around Shielder's Edict already as well. Oh, silly me. Answer, answer, answer. Answer, 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 answer. Let's play you. We've gone quite a long time with only drawing 4 lands. And boy, do I mean long, long time. I can humiliate Corvold and then plus on it. So that maybe it doesn't do anything and gets stuck in play. I think that's the right idea. I don't know. It's the only idea I have here. Alright, yeah. We did it. I mean, I can kind of see why they concede here. They know about the answers that I have in my hand. So, like, I can just continuously deal with stuff. And while I'm doing that, I'm threatening sword attacks that incur a ton of advantage. I think I do humiliate this and then just plus. And then we just chill in, like, Maze Mind's Tome or something. We yet again didn't draw land, but we're functional on 5 mana pretty well. Actually, we're kind of functional on 4 mana, too. Wow. Alright, how many answers did we go through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? They just spammed removal spells? Which is funny, because I don't normally have a ton of, like, actual things to cast removal on. But my opponent was fixated on casting a bunch of removal. I think if they just went for a building strategy and then had the answers later, because deification means I can't lose until you stop it. But you can just answer it later, so maybe you ignore it for a while and you just build your board state. It's not like I can stop you from answering it on turn 12, right? So you can just answer it later. I feel like that might have been more productive. But who knows? Apparently my opponent was deeply threatened by a 2-1 indestructible. I would just not have been at all. I don't have Graveyard Hate for Slimefoot, but I technically have Sweepers for Slimefoot, so... I have yet to crack this gate. Yet to seek with it. Alright, Palantir, get in there. Do it. Both of these are okay. I think I like the Mana Rock, so we do this. Yeah. I like the Mana Rock here. I wonder if they play their commander on turn 3. Oh, alright. Do I do anything about it? Probably... I don't think I do anything about this. I think I just do this and plus. Get Lost is interesting. I don't like the land. Yeah, that's fine. I don't need the mana. Oh, right, it's 2. Never mind. I couldn't keep either. Alright, never mind. Fair enough. Okay, sure. Just recast that. I could have nah, there's no reason to season that. Oh, I would have just put it back to the command zone anyways. It's always weird when Slimefoot plays Bajuka Bog. It's like, what? Why? Let's play it again and plus it again. Solitude would be good, but alas, I cannot draw it. Wow, they let me draw Solitude? Already letting me draw at 18. That's crazy. I'm milling there for sure. Every one of our creatures do things. Short. Short. That's nuts. I still think there's some kind of village rights, which is incredibly annoying, but what am I going to really do about that? Nothing. Oh look, it's village rights. Oh. It isn't a Fatal Push, because if it was Fatal Push, you know, it's only Fatal Push if I had a creature, then it would have been a Fatal Push. But I didn't have a creature, so of course. We're gonna take this time to make the emblem, and we're gonna pass the turn. Oh wait, we can just put this in, yeah, we can cast this, why not? That's a good one. My opponent is letting me draw, so I'm going to just keep drawing cards if they let me. Anything in the graveyard that matters? Nope. Not yet. They didn't find anything in the graveyard to put in the graveyard. That's wild, sure. Wow. This exiles, right? Correct. We're good. Yeah, we'll swing for 4. If Gideon was going to die here, I wouldn't, but... They could have used this to actually hit Gideon on their turn. Not sure if I would have blocked there. Sword of Fire and Ice is interesting. That is interesting. It might be too slow. We'll see. I don't hate Fire and Ice here. I really don't. Could probably be wrong, though. Let's, swing. Opponent has displayed consistent interest in blocking. So... Sure. Now all I have to do is kill the Sapperling, and then they can't use their commander. We have another Village Rites effect. We do not. Yep, cast this. Sort of that. Restoration is nice. No, it's not great. No, it isn't great. Okay. I also have deification rolling. What is this? Casualties of War? Yep, they have Casualties of War. Sort of spaghetti and noodles. Damage. Box. I can actually crew this vehicle. That is kind of a threat. Let's bait the sword. Okay, that just worked. They have to do something inside of combat. No, you gotta wait. Can't do it now. You gotta wait. Wait till I swing. No, you gotta wait till I swing. Okay, there you go. Now you can do it. Assassin's Trophy. Oof. Ew. Alright, well it does the job, but not, maybe not in the long run. We'll see. I have a ton of options here. I'll take the Indestructible Nuisance, just for the sake of doing it. Pay 3? Sure. I can draw off the Bank Buster. I'm gonna need more than that. I think they want us to play those in an opposite order, right? No, because then the Cutthroat dies. Alright, I see. Yeah, they're playing to their outs. I commend it. But I have lethal shown, because I can crew the Bankbuster. Well, I just utterly and completely demolished that Slimefoot player. Mono white with a bunch of sweepers, it does feel like a bit of a nightmare for this deck. I don't really think the equipment's why I won, but it did help me cross the finish line. I could have probably played this out another 10 turns without the equipment, and they weren't going to do much anyways. But yeah, Assassin's Trophy didn't help them, although it didn't really help me at this point. Casualties of War needed to happen sooner. By the time they cast it, it was a little too late, it feels. And even if they did reanimate something, I mean, look at my hand. I have an Exile effect, I have a Sweeper, I have a Sweeper, I have a Sweeper, and a Spot Removal spell. Like, my whole hand is covering everything Slimefoot's interested in doing. This also exiles graveyards, so it's one of the cards Slimefoot never wants to see. But yeah, they didn't mill anything that really posed a threat, but they also never had an opportunity to really reanimate something anyways. Cool. A sound Gideon thrashing. We get some really interesting, we get some good games. Not just winning them all, but even losing them. We get some interesting games when it's not like the sweatiest things in the format. Madrotha is scary, but it is very, very slow. Usually. As slow as mono green ramp can be. I kind of want to play Madrotha again. I kind of want to just play it again. I haven't played it in a while. Oh, look. No way. Well, play versus draw was extremely important here. Might have just straight up lost if I was on the draw. Might have lost on the draw there. Psychic Frog. That's surprisingly not too scary when you have this. If that means anything. I don't know. I have it, so I'm gonna do it. As much as I really want Palantir in play, there's just no time. Psychic Frog just wins, so. You tried Madrotha with Slime Against Humanity? Man. Out here just winging it. I commend my opponent for not playing 3 cards in a row that ramp. They did take a second in between to not do that. I don't believe Oketra's doing anything. I'm just going to play Palantir. Alright, we're in a position where we basically lose to Casualties of War if they have it. River's Rebukes might be survivable. The Sweeper is nice. I don't know if I want to land. They're not going to let me have the Sweeper, but I would keep it. Madrotha isn't currently winning the game. Even if they play 2 lands a turn. Gideon isn't also really doing all that much here. Alright, it's soaking some damage though. I mean, my opponent would always keep this, right? Delighted Halfling Psychic Frog? How do you not keep that? I don't lose to Mana Drain. I'm gonna be honest, this isn't even really that great. Whatever, spamming 1/1s is a thing. Maybe. Okay. I feel like that took them way longer than it would take me. I'm always killing the Palantir. Seems pretty straightforward, but alright. That's maybe something to think about. I think the Palantir is always correct. You can't target the Mind Stone. I could just crack it, so... And again, I'm not sure if Gideon is accomplishing all that much here. So... I mean, by all means, you can kill this Ornithopter. That's fine. Sure, that's just a naturalize, right? Yep. They probably want to draw with it, don't they? Oh, they want to draw with that? Yeah, okay. Looks like that is correct. So, I can reanimate my Palantir, and I can get rid of Psychic Frog? No, that's kind of weird, isn't it? What if I exiled the Dryad? It doesn't let you play lands off the top. I kind of really just don't want my opponent to draw a card. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'll just do this. I just don't want him to draw a card. I'm always drawing. I'm not blowing up Ornithopter. I'm still always drawing. Wow, really? How do you not draw? That's wild. Stroke of Midnight is interesting. You know, I like that one. I don't really care for the Mineral. There's no point in Standard Brawl? What do you mean? Alright, they found a land. They can cast Muldrotha to accomplish naturalize spamming stuff, I suppose. They do cast it. I will take care of it with Ossification. I think? Though, to be honest, the value it's getting isn't really that crucial. It's still probably right. I'm not going to block... I'm not going to block. Gideon does not necessarily even have to be alive for this game to continue. I'm just going to get rid of the Muldrotha. Rotation is coming? You thought it was a... Get scammed. That is not what this is. I can swing all out. Alright, we did it. We, like, frustrated the... Well, I didn't say we frustrated, but we just stopped Muldrotha value and stopped... Okay, we stopped the Delighted Halfling. I would say probably if this did... If my opponent was on the play... we probably lose? I don't know how extreme that is. I would like... This is another game. This is like the third time I've said this today. It's like another game where I would like to see if my opponent was on the play instead of me. I might have just lost this. Like, Delighted Halfling resolves. Mana Tithe might still do something. They're a turn faster at everything. And they were also on the play, so they're a turn faster in that regard as well. But, yeah, they might have been just too fast for me if they were on the play. Who knows? It definitely very notable that that Mana Tithe did something there, for sure. Cool. Just locked him out. I don't know if rotation doesn't change. You can still play it. It will just be different. Isn't it? Rotation's tomorrow? Right? Is rotation tomorrow? Have I made land destruction before? No, not in Historic Brawl. I have not. Not in Historic Brawl. What I'm mostly ready for is burning my currency on a new set. Which, does the new set drop tomorrow too, or is it just like random stuff? How does that? Okay, yeah, it does. Oh boy. uh, with Ancient Tomb, we can play Stone Rain, I think, now. Okay, do we want to keep a Ketra in here? A Ketra's really weird. It's been weird. You know what also has been just really not great is this. This card is... The only reason I'm playing this is for protection from black. And that's just not really great. I'm not going to lie to you. I think I'm taking that card out. I really like... Against the Jund decks, it's like the last sword I'm getting every time. I'm like getting this and then that. Well, yeah, it's just like never... I'm taking that out. I can run something more interesting. Deadly Cover-Up, huh? How does Deadly Cover-Up read? I don't get it. I still like Oscillate Pride as just this stupid card. Wait. Ice Storm? Isn't that a... Isn't that a... Oh, please. Wow, it doesn't specify, huh? Most cards like this specify you can't name basic land. Yeah, normally you can't name basics with cards like these. I've never seen anyone ever do that. Exile basics. Most games, I guess it's not super crazy, because if they're just two colors, they don't care. But yeah, that's funny, I guess. I almost want to play Dawn of Hope. Cosmos Elixir? Yeah, I guess. Costs 4. Maybe it's fine. Yeah, maybe Cosmos is fine. There's a chance Esper Sentinel does something. It hasn't drawn a card yet since we've started playing this deck. Maybe it will here. This would be a good opportunity for it to shine. I suppose it doesn't matter if I don't draw lands anyways, but you know. Mutavault. There's not really much of a reason to play that turn 2. Though there's no reason not to play. Could have just played it, I don't know. I'm not ever swinging with it, really. Wow, look at that. Esper Sentinel drew a card. Let's go. Let's get rid of that. There's a lot of annoying ones here, though. That is a... I could just poke it with that. Alright, so let's play... Gideon? No, we play this. We play this. We play that. Does that stop Perpetual? Does that actually stop Perpetual? No, it doesn't. Get wrecked. I didn't think so. That does not stop Perpetual. Welcome to Hearthstone, opponent. How may I take your order? Mm-hmm. I think I swing with this because I survive lightning bolts, I guess. Sure. This has Ward 1? No, it doesn't. It does not have Ward 1. Oh, Esper Sentinel. Look at you go. Look at you go. Did they top deck a land? Apparently not. Oh, they just discarded 2 lands. I want to dodge Mana Drain. That is a very good card. What if I did this? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Sort of tasting it. Put it on Esper Sentinel. because I'd rather them, yeah, I'd rather them do this here. Oh, look at the tempo. Look at the tempo, chat. Look at us go. Look at all that tempo. They can't interact with this 5/6 unless it's a blue card. It has to be a blue card. That doesn't do anything. Get wrecked? Wow. We just utterly decimated that teamer deck. That's, yeah. Just completely wrecked it. Yeah, they didn't know how this worked. To be fair, Essence Flux probably wasn't going to do much that game. It looks like dealing with the Mana Rock. Like, what I sent sort of 2-for-1 to myself to deal with the Mana Rock. And it's still just more than worth it. Yeah, wow. Look at that. The beats were real. Just totally trampled that teamer deck there. Nice. This is the 3-mana Gideon with text on it. Alright, I think I'm done. I feel done with this. I kind of want to just, before I sell myself into crafting more cards or something, just stop playing until tomorrow. So, tomorrow might be a longer stream anyways. What's tomorrow? Tuesday? Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to store up some of my magic energy for tomorrow. And on the bright side, this actually did not take an hour and a half to build. But we did it in like half the time. It took like 30 minutes to get to a spot where I felt like I could start playing the game. Normally it's been hour-long sessions to put the deck together, but it did this one pretty quickly. Kind of surprising, especially with the goofy cards in here. Yeah, alright, we're done. So, this had an out in, I think, one game. There was an out. Now, I didn't realize at the time, but the man land we had doesn't become a land again. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, this thing. It's an angel. You can put the book counter on it, but it's a 3/3 forever. So this is not viable. I thought it was viable, it's not. Don't play this. If you exclusively play it for like the book angel counter, it becomes a 3/3, it stays a 3/3, it's completely unplayable. So I took that out. There was one game where I could have went for it on that card. At the time I didn't realize it was going to be a 3/3, so and stay a 3/3. I should have went for it. Didn't realize I had the mana to do it, and it cost me the game. But it was going to stay as a 3/3 against a red-white aggro deck. There's no way it's staying alive and saving me. It's just not going to happen. So it's not ideal. It's already bad enough that it goes on a land that's moderately vulnerable. The board wipes are just excellent, right? Any planeswalker-based commander strategy is just going to like that because it doesn't die to the sweepers. I didn't feel like I was falling behind on board when it came to my opponent having a critical mass of creatures and I can't swing into them or something. The pivoting into beating my opponent to death with damage was an option, but it wasn't plan A. All the sweepers were just so good. There's a lot of situations where recognizing that your sweeper must only kill one thing is something to take note of, right? I've said rather recently that board wipes are kind of at their weakest because everyone has extremely threatening creatures after only having 2 in play. It's not like you're suddenly getting to a losing position because they played their 3rd or 4th creature and you haven't dealt with the first 2. All creatures are like creatures just getting so scary as individual cards that it doesn't. Critical mass isn't something you necessarily need to concern yourself with. So it's just something to pay attention to, that it's okay to 1-for-1 yourself with a sweeper. You know, sometimes it's totally fine to just greet it because the creature isn't winning on its own. But especially with Gideon's Plus, you can plus on their first creature, and then it doesn't deal any damage until they play the next one, so you're even a little bit more incentivized to wait for their next creature, basically. But you're not really banking on 5 or 6 or 7 creatures in play before you cast it, or really even 4. But that does happen still. It's not like that wasn't happening. Casting this means you don't really even have to worry about casting sweepers, because you're just doing this, and until your opponent stops it, you know, you're probably going to win, and you're going to win really quickly after you've cast this card. Did I talk about the sword? The black sword was awful. Even against a mono black deck, I still feel like I would not really like to go grab it. Maybe I would. I didn't really see a lot of mono black. But if I did, I don't know if I would take the protection from Black Sword. Like, it's not good. It's really just not good. It has text on it. It does. It just doesn't really have great text on it. Right? If I was ever against a Jund deck, which we were against a few of them, I'm not really grabbing this. I just went for the red-green one. And even the blue-red one against Jund, Fire and Ice, is like... The sword itself is just scarier than this. So like, protection for black does have merit, though, sometimes. Your commander's indestructible. It can get hit by black exile, I suppose. If you have other creatures, it could be valuable to like give them protection from black so they can maybe block. That seems awkward when a sword would like to not block and actually attack. But these two were excellent. The 2 mana investment every time I want to swing with Gideon with one of these was just more than worth it. Absolutely more than worth it every time. So, that's up to the individual, I suppose. The equipment package didn't feel necessary, but it was really good every time I had it, you know? So maybe you want to put Stoneforge in here. I might actually upload the list with Stoneforge. Again, I didn't. I don't own the card. But yeah, the Book of Exalted Deeds, not reliable. Definitely not reliable. I said I was going to keep Knights of the Round in here until it did something. And it never did anything. And I still took it out. Like, I was going to keep it until I cast it. That just never happened. This card is abysmal. The format doesn't care about really anything this is doing. If 3 2/2s are like swarming your opponent in a way they're not dealing with, then congratulations, I guess. I don't know what that game looks like. I would almost prefer this be Avacyn or Zetalpa, but it's comparable enough to Zetalpa that maybe this is just something to think about. It's not like it's doing nothing, right? You get a ton of 2 2s, and then at the end of it all, they're all really, really annoying to deal with, right? But there are cards like Cyclonic Rift in River's Rebuke, right, and whatnot that just don't care. The 2/2s also don't have Indestructible until the end. Yeah, they don't have it till the end. So if you need to cast your own sweeper before you got to I don't even know what I was about to say, the last chapter counter, I slurred my words, then feels kind of bad. It does create essentially a lethal mass of 2/2s, but there's just better cards that are, they're more useful in more games if you just have that slot be like a cheaper spell, right? I don't even know what I took out for it. Oh, I think it was Cosmos Elixir. Yeah, I think I put that in instead. The Key to the Archive is interesting, and so was, oddly enough, Approach the Second Sun, thinking about the games I won, I think Approach would have helped me win those games. Although, I mean, I already won them anyways. I'm not saying much. But, like, the games I lost, I don't know. If I ever had Approach, I'm not sure if that would have changed anything. It would also have to replace a card in my hand, and I don't know what card we're theoretically replacing with the Approach there. So I'd be down a different card to have Approach in that game. So I don't know if Approach is right. I do like the ability to suddenly pivot into beatdown. It's not often, but it can happen. I mean, 4 damage. I felt like there were quite a few players that tried to deal with this when they just didn't have to, especially when I don't have to do anything else and I can cast it again. It's like, well, maybe you just don't kill it because my whole turn next turn was passing, and now I can just cast this because you sort of like gave me my own turn. Something to think about. The bottom part didn't really come up too much, really at all. It's hard to keep Gideon alive and also zero and have that line of text. But if your opponents are more scared than they should be, sort of, then there is some advantage to be gained when your opponent is overly threatened by that. There were certain situations where I guess a bunch of situations where it was killed and it probably didn't have to be, and my opponent like tempoed themselves to invest mana and resources into killing it instead of doing something else, and they could have went to kill this even with the emblem at a later turn, and I can't really do anything. Like, you can still put me in the dead zone, right? Like, I'm dead, and then you kill this and I die immediately, whereas you kill this up front. Not super amazing, but it's something to pay attention to. The Sarah emblem never came up. I got close to it coming up. I did get kind of close, but didn't really cross the finish line with that one. I will say deification was hilariously scary. Anything that was annoying in play that my opponent couldn't deal with, deification felt like something maybe every opponent really wanted to deal with, and that's funny. I actually liked deification. This might be one of the only commanders in the game that might actually like deification. There's some other white ones that might like this, but Gideon was definitely like really funny with it. I don't really like Fragment Reality. I only cast it, I think, once. Maybe I cast it twice. It's good against 1 mana cards. If every deck has Mox in it, then that's kind of sad. Turning your opponent's card into a Mox is like not the most ideal situation. Lana Royale's into Mox, and if you ever deal with a 2-mana card, every single deck has a 1-drop, right? So I don't know if I like this card. It's kind of weird. I don't often play with it, and I didn't really like it every time I cast it here. I think I actually got a Tameo in play, right? Yeah, I cast this on a Mana Rock, and my opponent got Tameo. I was like, great. Plussing on Tameo doesn't do anything. That was just actually abysmal. But I still think I had to 2-for-1 myself, essentially, because I then had to deal with the 1-drop they got. So yeah, I really just don't like Fragment Reality. Not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you. The Mana Rocks ended up working out quite nicely. I'm kind of glad I started playing with them, because I wasn't initially going to do that, but with Oswald sacking into the book, that's why I ended up putting them in, and I actually did like them. But, yeah, it's a satisfying strategy. I do enjoy this. I can recommend it. It does play slightly different from Lamb and also Redain. There's one Redain truther that plays a lot of Historic Brawl. I haven't seen that player in a while. It just strictly plays Redain. That deck is like a fine-tuned wheel. Fine-tuned machine that Redain player's deck is can win out of nowhere. So you can
take advice from whoever that person is, and if you ever bump into him. Again, I haven't seen him in quite a while. But the mono white control aspect of things is pretty viable if you're not stuck playing against the best things in the format. It feels as though every time I start playing, the first few games are just peak sweaty lists. I don't know if that's because my MMR matters, and I was like, oh, the first 5 games, welcome to Ragavan City. I was like, what? But later on, the bell curve or whatever, it smooths out, and I started playing against things that I could have a back and forth with, which was nice. So I can recommend this. It is fun, but if there's like a bunch of stuff to craft in this that you're interested in playing that you don't have, I would probably just not recommend that, because the next set comes out tomorrow, and it has some pretty interesting mythics in it and some pretty interesting rares. So, pool your resources if you're one of the free-to-play enjoyers such as myself. But that's all I got for you. I will see you guys next time with new cards. We're going to space.